Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, October 10th, and I'm Kristen McDonald. This week on Norwood News, we get info on when this year's Trunk or Treat is happening, Foodie Joe takes us to a legendary Norwood spot, and a brand new living local that will leave you relaxed and refreshed. All this and more on Norwood News. What better way to start Norwood News than with some dessert? Kiki's back at one of her favorite spots, the One Bistro, to get a taste of fall on this week's episode of Sweet Treats with Keeks.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sweet Treats with Keeks. It's been a while, but we're back at the One Bistro, and Katie's got some fresh new fall desserts. I took a look last night before I got in here, and they're looking spectacular. So let's get into it. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Look at this beautiful
Today
creation.
we have our, what is it, fall
Yes.
desserts. This is our cranberry apple galette with a maple streusel, served warm with vanilla gelato.
Nice.
And then this is our sweet potato bundt cake with a brown butter glaze and also served warm with vanilla gelato.
Wow. All right, so this is the cranberry apple
Galette.
Galette.
Yes, with a
What
maple
is galette?
streusel.
I
So
was
it's
curious.
basically just like a hand pie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a fancy French word. Just sounds really decadent.
Yeah, it does. Oh, I'm excited. Just this aroma is just spectacular. Ugh. That right there, folks. Oh my God. The tart with the vanilla ice cream, everything just really, oh my goodness. Not dry at all. Like, this is just moist. It's, that right there is great. That is a perfect dessert right there.
Thank you.
Let's get into the bundt
Yes.
sweet potato.
Yes.
This I'm intrigued about because I don't think I've ever had a sweet potato like dessert kind of thing.
You can't really, in my opinion, you can't really taste the sweet potato.
Yeah.
But it has like a nice fall flavor. And
Right.
The sweet potato adds a nice moisture to the cake.
I'm excited. Look at this, the inside, that nice cake right here. It's like cinnamon in this too, a little bit?
Oh yeah, all those good fall spices.
Yeah, it's what you need. Okay. Oh, that's really good. That is excellent. Oh my God, give me another bite real quick. Missed the cake.
It's fine, it happens.
That is just so moist. Oh my God, that's excellent. I just love the cakey aspect to this.
Yeah.
This is just incredible.
There's just something about a warm cake with gelato dripping down. It's just
Yeah.
the perfect combination.
It's so soft on the inside and you have that crunch. Love that crunch. Can't go wrong with Chef Katie's desserts. Just all spectacular. And you were talking about how you're gonna start doing something on the weekends.
Yes, so on the weekends we're gonna start doing weekend specials, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every weekend something different and new.
Dessert.
Yep, desserts.
You guys saw here, I got the sweet potato bundt cake, and then here we got the cranberry apple
Galette?
Galette. Okay. And I can say right here that these are probably my favorite two fall desserts. The sweet potato bundt cake was top for me, and then the cranberry apple galette. So definitely come down to the One Bistro, give these a try, and you will not be disappointed. Catch you next time on Sweet Treats with Keeks.
I can't wait to get down to One Bistro and have some of that delicious dessert myself. On last week's Norwood News, Chief Chris Patton profiled the new patch for the police department uniforms with an updated version of Aaron Guild. We thought we would play a video produced by Patty Fanning and Jack Tolman so you could learn all about the one and only Aaron Guild.
My name is Aaron Guild. I was born on April 5th, 1728, the youngest son of Nathaniel and Medable Guild of Dedham. My great-grandfather, John Guild, came from England and helped found the town of Dedham in 1636. Like my father, I became a farmer. My house stood on today's Walpole Street, then known as Wrentham Road, across from what you know as the Morrill Memorial Library. I farmed the fields on the land that the library now stands on. I was married 3 times and had 10 children. In 1758, I was required to join the militia in the service of the King and marched to Lake George in His Majesty's service during the French and Indian War. It was a long and dangerous journey. I remained a loyal militiaman and in 1771 was promoted to the rank of captain. In 1774, I became a member of the local committee of safety and, like many others in the village of South Dedham, wished to break free of England. On April 19, 1775, when the alarm was sounded and the British troops marched to Lexington and Concord, I and 60 other men from the village headed to Dedham, where we mustered and prepared to fight the King's men. Some of us were able to fire upon the British troops as they retreated back to Boston. It was the beginning of the Revolutionary War. In 1776, although I was old, at 48, I served my company at Dorchester Heights and Hull Harbor and earned the rank of Major. I lived until February 3rd, 1818. During Norwood's Old Home Week celebration in 1902, I was chosen to represent all those from South Dedham who fought in the Revolutionary War, and this stone was placed on land I once owned. It reads, "Near this spot, Captain Aaron Guild, on April 19, 1775, left plow in furrow and oxen standing, and departed for Lexington, arriving in time to fire upon the retreating British." Although I went to Dedham, not Lexington, and I was not alone, I thank the town for remembering all those who fought for America's freedom. Also in 1902, the Norwood Business Association held a contest to design a town seal. More than 80 designs were submitted by Norwood Public Schools students. Designs included pictures of King Philip, factories, colonial homesteads, and printing presses. Grace Weaver, who sketched smoking factory chimneys to represent industry and fruit to indicate prosperity, was given special recognition, as was George Boyden, who drew a likeness of me leaving my oxen and plow to join the fight in 1775. The winning entry by high school student Ethel Hubbard was a representation of the Hook, the buildings that stood at Norwood Center. In February 1905, Norwood's town meeting voted to appoint a committee to recommend a new seal. A year later, the committee presented their report and the town meeting voted to adopt a design which included me, my plow, and oxen. It first appeared in 1907. 100 years later, in 2007, the town finally changed my coat from red, I was not a red coat, those were the British, to brown. Today, you can see my seal throughout the town. You can visit this rock in front of the library and my grave on the crest of the hill in the old parish cemetery, besides those of my 3 wives. In 1975, the local chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution was named for me. And in 1983, the DAR placed this plaque at my gravesite. I am honored by all this attention, but want to remind everyone that I was one of 60 men who set off to defend our way of life in April 1775, and one of over 100 who fought for the village in the Revolutionary War. All of our names are on a plaque in the town hall. Remember us all when you see the town seal.
Norwood News will be back after this break, featuring all the info for this year's Trunk or Treat.
Trunk or Treat is back. Join us Saturday, October 24th, the weekend before Halloween, for a spooky good time. Swing by the lot behind Norwood Town Hall from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. in your favorite Halloween costume and fill your bag up with treats. It's a fun, safe, and candy-filled way to get into the Halloween spirit. Join NCM and other people from around town behind Norwood Town Hall on Saturday, October 24th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This week we have a new Norwood's Foodie Joe segment that's fresh out of the oven. Our guy, Joe Sleeman, loves his food and recently went to Lewis's to sample their pizza. Let's go eat with Norwood's Foodie Joe.
Hey everyone, welcome to Norwood's Foodie Joe. You guessed it, I'm Joe. Today, I'm here to take you on a delicious journey through the culinary landscape of Norwood, Massachusetts. Today, we're here at Lewis's, a Norwood staple for over 85 years. Come on and let's eat. Here we are at Lewis's Restaurant and Grill with their new pizza oven from 2022. Today I'm going to order the pegged pant pizza. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Today we're going to be making you a pegged pant pizza. So pegged pant is one of our specialty pizzas here that we came up with when we put this pizza bar into effect a couple of years ago. Quick little backstory on the pegged pant. As we're developing this menu, we came up with the actual pizza, but we didn't have a name for it, and we were trying to come up with a name for it. And I had gotten a text from a friend of mine, and his pants were pegged, so I thought, what a perfect name, we'll call it the pegged pant. Quick little run through on the pizza itself. You know, we do a 14-ounce dough ball that is stretched in semolina flour. Semolina is just a finer cornmeal. From there, there's a fig jam that is the base of the pizza. There's no tomato sauce on this pizza. And then garlic spinach, pancetta, which is basically an Italian bacon, a mozzarella cheese blend, Italian blend, and then a manchego cheese, which is a semi-soft sheep's milk cheese.
So the pizza goes in the oven, which is the brand is Woodstone. It's out of the West Coast. We've had it for about 2.5 years. And the oven temp is around 750. At that temp, it usually takes about 3 to 4 minutes to cook a pizza. And then we finish off our pegged pan pizza with a nice sweet balsamic reduction.
All right, Joe, here's your pegged pant.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to partake in this pegged pant pizza. It's a delicious, delicious pizza. The bacon or the pancetta on top is nice and salty. Works perfectly with the fig underneath and the balsamic glaze on top. The manchego adds a nice kind of nutty flavor, something you don't normally get on pizza. And then to top it off with the spinach, makes the whole thing healthy. Absolutely going to eat this entire thing. I'm still working through the entire menu, but I keep getting stuck back on the pegged pant. Eventually I'll move on and try some other ones, but I'm excited to keep working through my dishes here at Lewis's. Thank you for joining me on this exciting culinary adventure through Norwood. Foodie Joe signing out.
Now we're going to toss it over to Sophia Baradinelli for the latest in school news.
I'm Sophia Baradinelli, and let's check out what's happening in our Norwood schools. In Norwood High School news, the students of the month are Abby Curran and Joanne Yamoa. These students are leaders and role models at the high school and are nominated by their teachers. Congratulations. At the Coakley Middle School, the cross-country team has had a great season this fall. The boys and girls teams pulled off some impressive wins. Most notably, the boys defeated Medfield in a hotly contested race that saw multiple personal record runs on the CMS home course. The girls won their first 2 meets and also have seen many personal records. Let's take a look at some of the athletes. Students in Mrs. Salvucci's 4th grade class have been busy working in cooperative groups this year. They have been working on STEM challenges such as helping Harry to build a perch with selected materials that will be high enough and strong enough to hold their pet pom-pom named Harry. Students are learning a lot about the rock cycle process in science and how weathering and erosion play a part in the cycle. They especially love the hands-on experiments. Students are also developing their map skills by becoming cartographers and creating maps of their own. It's been a busy few weeks and kids are enthusiastic about being in 4th grade. At the Callahan School, students learned all about fire safety with firefighter Paul Ronco. The school department would like to thank the Norwood Fire Department for providing these important fire safety training classes. The students at the Cleveland School have been working hard and earning tokens for their book vending machine. The students earn tokens in many ways: being a good friend, helping another student or teacher, working hard in class, or participating in classroom discussions are just a few ways students have earned tokens so far. The reading specialist at the Prescott School has kicked off a new reading incentive for students in 4th grade. Miss Walsh is hosting a weekly Lunch Bunch book club. Students were all given a copy of Because of Winn-Dixie and assigned a certain number of chapters to read for the first week. Students met during the lunch block to have group discussions about the book. Students enjoyed making connections with peers and discussing a classic. Thanks to Miss Walsh for hosting this engaging book session. In technology news, there will be a special panel discussion on cell phones and social media. Here's a clip with all the information.
The Norwood Public Schools Technology Department invites you to a panel discussion on how cell phones and social media are impacting today's kids. This event will be held on Thursday, October 16th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the new Coakley Middle School. Panelists will include Linda Charmaraman, Director of the Youth, Media, and Wellbeing Research Lab out of Wellesley College, Nicole Powell, Clinical Research Specialist at Boston Children's Hospital's Digital Wellness Lab. We'll have Norwood principals from all levels, a local pediatrician, a mental health counselor, and school resource officers. These experts will share how they see kids today being affected by cell phones and social media. They'll share valuable advice and practical strategies to help your children find a healthy balance with technology. Following the main discussion, you can continue the conversation and gather more information in smaller breakout sessions. To help us get a head count, please scan the QR code to register. Again, this event will be held on Thursday, October 16th from 7 to 8:30 at the Coakley Middle School. We hope to see you there.
This school year, the Willett community is lucky to be a part of DESE's Playful Learning Institute grant. Playful learning encourages students to use their own voices and choices to expand their understanding of grade-level content through different plays, studios, and practices. Over the past few weeks, students have engaged with play kits to either build, sculpt, draw, or collage different ways to show a number. During studios, they have engaged in centers like discovery, dramatic play, making marks, building, and art to explore the question, what makes a place special? Students have built blocks depicting their favorite places in Norwood, creating maps of their own special places, served up some food in kinder cafes, made their own art stores, and sent postcards to people they love. Students in Miss Carroll's, Miss Letterman's, Mrs. Stenstrom, Mrs. Lambreno's, and Mrs. Reynolds' classes were very happy to share their creations. Stay tuned to see where their next imagination takes them. Let's play. That might be the first thing you hear when you arrive at LMPA, but it's so much more than it seems. As you walk through the hallways of LMPA, you'll find students deeply engaged in learning concepts, developing social skills, and solving problems through multi-sensory, interactive, and imagination-driven activities in every classroom. These hands-on experiences are intentionally designed to support the success of all learners, meeting a wide range of learning styles, strengths, and needs. Albert Einstein once said, "Play is the highest form of research," and at LMPA, that philosophy comes to life every day. That wraps up this week's school news. A big thank you to all the teachers who share their updates. It's thanks to you that we get to celebrate the amazing things happening in our schools each week. Reporting for Norwood School News, I'm Sophia Berardinelli. And now here's Ron Marshalsea with the latest in sports.
I'm Ron Marshalsea, and this is your sports update. The football team had a bye week last Friday to help them get ready to head to Westwood this Friday night, the 10th, at 7 o'clock. The game against the Wolverines will be live thanks to Westwood Media Center, so be sure to check out their stream to stay up to date with the game. The field hockey team got right back in the win column with 3 wins in a row against Holliston, Bellingham, and Ashland. The Mustangs look to keep things going as they host Dedham on the 10th at 4 o'clock, which is live on the NCM Community Channel and streaming at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. The girls' soccer team lost to Walpole in a close one to Millis, with Ava Papetti getting her first goal of the season against Walpole. The Mustangs grabbed their first win on the year with a big 5-2 win over Bellingham. Goals came from Bella Corus, Megan Malloy, Lily Cordani, Gia Riccardi, and Mackenzie Flynn, who also got MVP of the game. The boys' soccer team went up against Bellingham and tied the Blackhawks 1-1, with John Lynch scoring the goal for the Mustangs. They will be at Ashland next Tuesday, the 14th, at 5 o'clock. Both cross-country teams couldn't grab the win over Hopkinton, but Bridget Flynn managed to finish first overall in the meet. Both teams head to the Rentham Development Center on Saturday the 18th at 1 o'clock for the TVL Showcase. The golf team went to and hosted Medfield on the 6th and 7th respectively. The Mustangs didn't grab the win on Monday, but had a great showing at home against the Warriors and the Dedham Marauders, getting wins 233-246 and 7-1. The first Medfield match was a tie through the first 6 groups, which led to alternates for each team deciding who came out on top. Tommy O'Brien shot 1 under par and Max Conley shot par in the second Medfield matchup, and the 7-1 score is because of match play against Dedham. The Mustangs finished the regular season TVL champs and with a stellar 15-5 record. 3 out of 5 of their losses were by 2 points or less, which means the Mustangs have a strong team heading into the state tournament. Coach Allen has announced the 6 golfers that will represent Norwood in the tourney: Tommy O'Brien, Rocco Sheehan, Max Conley, Maximo DeLuca, Zach Truman, and Seamus Conley. The volleyball team lost to Ashland on Monday and Westwood on Tuesday. The Mustangs fought hard against Westwood, and you can rewatch that match at any time just by heading to norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Their next game will be at home against TVL foe Hopkinton on October 14th at 5:15. And that is all I have for this sports update. I'm Ron Marshalsea, and Norwood News will be right back after this break. The Craft Affair is returning to Norwood High School. The 31st Annual Craft Affair will be on Saturday, October 18th from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. inside the gym of Norwood High School. There will be quality vendors as well as raffles for everyone to enjoy. All proceeds fund the NHS Post-Prom as well as various Norwood student groups and athletic teams. Come show your support and grab some beautiful homemade crafts at the 31st Annual Craft Affair, Saturday, October 18th from 9 a.m. to 2:30.
The school committee met on Wednesday night, followed by a workshop on open meeting law for the committee later that evening. The meeting began with approval of minutes and public comment, with an appearance by NHS Alumni Association President Jerry Miller. He wanted to restart the conversation about building a bathroom and concession stand at the Norwood High School field, which the committee voted to have Dr. Luff look into the next steps to make that happen. Director of Human Resources Lisa Uglialoro delivered an HR update. Following that, Dr. Luff provided an update on the strategic plan and brought up the discussion for the elementary HVAC study warrant article. Dr. Munoz then delivered an MCAS and accountability update, followed by David Hiltz with a middle school building committee update. Under the committee's policy section for the evening, there was an update and discussion, along with discussion for distribution of the middle school pathway exploration for public comment. The consent agenda was then approved, albeit with changes to the list of policies. This approval also granted field trip requests for the middle school trip to Quebec and Washington, D.C., as well as the annual STN convention trip to Florida for the Norwood High television program. There were also significant donations, which included an $85,000 grant from the Mass Cultural Council to the Cleveland School, as well as donations from Clay Subaru and the Norwood Senior Center. The school committee will meet again on October 22nd. To watch the school committee meeting or any other government meeting covered by NCM, just head on over to norwoodcommunitymedia.org. The Zoning Board of Appeals met Tuesday night at the Senior Center, and the meeting began with a public hearing that was withdrawn without prejudice. Following that, the second of two cases occurred, which was a request for a special permit to allow open lot storage of tools and equipment in the M-zone portion of the property at 558 Pleasant Street. The request was not approved by the board. A comprehensive permit modification request and a comprehensive plan strategy work session ended the meeting, with the permit being withdrawn as well. The meeting concluded with minutes being approved and adjournment. The zoning board will meet again on November 4th. At this week's planning board meeting, the owner of 699 Washington Street, the Bank of America site, appeared before the board to discuss modifications to the original site plan. It included converting a studio to a 2-bedroom and a bedroom plus den to a 2-bedroom, relocating a basement bathroom, and adding 3 windows. The board reviewed the parking plan in accordance with the downtown overlay district.
A question for Sarah on the downtown overlay. I mean, I'm looking at, if he has 7, consider you're going to have 7 2-bedrooms?
7 2-bedrooms.
Okay, so that's 14 parking spaces?
It's a space and a half for 2-bedroom, not
space
2.
and a half.
Yeah,
okay,
it's not
all right.
one for
okay,
one.
so that's okay. That's
the
correct.
downtown district has a different parking.
That's right. That's my
requirement.
question. If the downtown has a different, so it's
So
space
the
and a half.
parking, the
So-
parking calculation for the central business district is the 1.5 for a
2-bedroom.
2-bedroom. And then additionally, it allows for the parking requirements to serve the commercial. So there's the residential parking requirements and the commercial requirements. The commercial requirements are allowed to be met by using the on-street parking. So the on-site parking that's being proposed is for residential, and then a little bit of
and
commercial.
we happen to have enough.
But the rest of the commercial would be utilizing the street parking.
And-
All of the residential parking would be served by spots.
So residential parking, you're covered.
Yes.
No problem there. And
With plus some.
And the commercial would be on the street, just like if they were going to get their hair cut down the street.
Yeah, because I mean, all of downtown Norwood, I don't think
I
there's
mean,
many.
to say you have 4 on Washington Street, you could say you have 25 on Washington Street. It's the whole, you have.
No, it's got to be in front of your building.
It's got to be in front of your building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The board approved the modifications to the previous plan. In addition, the board approved a street name change, site plan modifications for Coakley Middle School, and a major project special permit at Winsworth Mills. The planning board will meet again on October 20th. The Historical Commission met this week at the Morse House, where they voted to keep Judith Howard as chair and Tony Esco as vice chair. The meeting also marked John Chacharula's final day with the commission as he moves on to the next step in his career, and the commission thanked him for his service. Members then discussed updates on ongoing projects, including the Norwood Central Station building restoration and the Shattuck Park wall study. They also reviewed applications for Community Preservation Act funds and talked about several buildings in town that are in significant need of restoration. Located at 55 Boston Providence Highway is a place where you can unplug, relax, recover, and recharge all at once. Let's take a look at what Debrief has to offer.
Just off of Route 1 sits a hidden gem, a space designed for mindfulness in the rush of everyday life. This facility offers a place to decompress, reflect, reset, and most importantly, to debrief.
So at Debrief, we are offering sort of cutting-edge recovery modalities. So we offer saunas, cold plunges, red light therapy, compression boots. We also have a sensory deprivation float tank. We wanted to sort of bring these cutting-edge recovery methods to your everyday clientele. Just make these things accessible to any given person. So when we have new people come in that aren't quite as familiar with this sort of world or this space, we walk them through basically the benefits of our modalities like saunas and cold plunges and the sort of the effects that they have on your body for recovery, especially muscle recovery, skin recovery, and sort of that sort of thing. So we walk them through what we have to offer, as well as our recommendations for how to use our equipment. I would say try out a little bit of everything that we have. I would recommend doing maybe 15 minutes in the sauna. If you've never done a sauna before, that's a pretty reasonable 10 or 15 minutes to spend in the sauna. Come out and try the cold plunge. That's a lot of people come in here and have never done a cold plunge before, so that's a first for a lot of our new clients. Try it out, see if you can stick it out for 90 seconds or so. It can definitely be a challenge for people who have never tried it, but a lot of people who try that out for the first time find that they really enjoy, especially how they feel once they get out of it, sort of rejuvenated afterwards. After that, we often recommend going back into the sauna to sort of reacclimate a little bit. And then definitely try out our compression boots. We have Normatec compression boots that are really great for blood flow and muscle recovery in your legs, and our red light therapy as well. We have 2 cold plunges that range between 42 and 48 degrees. We also have a Morosco Forge, which goes down to 32 to 33 degrees and generates its own ice within the tank for those who want a bit of an extra challenge. As you get in, as your body starts to try to acclimate to it, it's a bit of a shock, but your muscles start contracting, which is very good for helping muscle recovery. So we have a sensory deprivation float tank. It's loaded up with 900 pounds of Epsom salts, give or take. So you lay in the water, but you just float right on top of it, and you're floating there for, we do about a 45-minute session in the float tank, and basically there's no light, no sound, and you just sort of float there, and it's very meditative. And it's set to a 96 degrees, so it's pretty much right where your body temperature is at, so once you're in there, you really don't feel much of anything. So our customer base ranges quite a bit. We have everything going from student athletes to people recovering from injuries or surgeries, and just pretty much everybody from any walk of life who needs to come in and de-stress. And we've partnered with Vitality Hydration to offer IV therapy as well.
Hi, my name's Kate and I'm a nurse here. I work for Vitality and we're here at Debrief 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to improve your recovery by offering IVs and as well as IM shots. An IM is an intramuscular shot, so it goes in your shoulder typically. You can pick whatever arm you want, and there's different benefits. We offer a couple of different shots. It just depends on what you're looking for in your stage of recovery.
I'm a big fan, I'm a fan of all of it, of course, but I really love the compression boots. I think they've helped me out a lot with my own workout recovery in terms of just kind of getting that blood flow going in the legs and helping with lymphatic drainage and just really starting to recover the muscles before they even break down too much. But I'm also a big fan of just the contrast therapy of going from the sauna to the cold plunge, just sort of those 2 extremes. I think it's really, it's unlike anything that I had ever tried prior to it. So it just kind of opened my eyes up to just a whole different side of recovery and wellness in general.
To learn more about Debrief, visit debriefrecovery.com or download the Debrief app to book appointments and discover the first step toward a more mindful you.
After I pick up my dessert from One Bistro, I'm gonna head over to Debrief and just enjoy that perfect day. Well, that's a wrap for this edition of Norwood News. For the latest updates and stories, be sure to follow Norwood Community Media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in, and from all of us here at NCM, have a great weekend.